Hey everybody, this is Grace, and this is the first time I've been out in a long while it feels like a long while, to make a video. I haven't made much videos at all since probably, I think I did back in October, and around that time with all the Wi-Fi issues I found that I had uploaded, and uploading was okay, but the rest of it, no, because the Wi-Fi issues. But I had 51 that I had uploaded and hadn't made public over, well, I have more than one channel, so collectively. And, yeah. But so much going on. Today is actually January 9th, 2020. I don't know when I'll put this video up. But just with everything going on, oh my goodness. And before, it was the Christmas, it was a Thanksgiving, it was the election, and this was just so much. And I actually had made a video, I think it was on the 11th of November, and I just this month made it public. It fizzled like so many this year, well, this past year. And it kind of started to feel like, is it worth it? I don't know. There's a lot of work. Not a lot, but it's work still, the same, to put up a video and hardly anybody watches it. I actually had started watching again these tipsters, okay, and ones I've known, that I've been on YouTube making videos on my original channel over 6 years ago, and so I've known some of these, and I looked, and one of them was, getting something like recently 1,000 views, and this is a big time tipster. I'm like, okay, yeah, something's going on. Well, a lot of is going on, but anyway, that's nothing new to me. Holidays, it's okay, I'm not gonna act like speculate what's going on, but I could. I've been around this long. I have a pretty good idea what happens around holidays, and there's so many different things people can see. And this is something I want to do this year, and I said this in one of my videos last year. I don't know if I made it public, but at the end of the year is this year I want to turn to different, I want to use these, it's a different way of doing videos, I guess. I want to do more inside in the house, and I have binders now that I've made. I mentioned last year, okay, let me go back here. I mentioned last year that I had started cleaning up and sorting through a bunch of, I was looking for binders, and I was going through a bunch of stuff that I had made over years, sometime even in the 2000s, that I had not made, but I had printed and made, put in binders and made little sets like that, organized them in binders and stuff like that. And it was a lot of information. Much of it I printed off of Wikipedia, which before, more recent years, I didn't like it. But the more recent years, I found that they've definitely stepped up their game. And so I had all these, and I was going to just throw them away. And I said, why don't I use them to make videos out of? And I don't need really any new ideas. I'm serious. I wake up in the morning, there's an idea in my head, at least one, sometimes more than one, of what to do videos on. But that's not a problem for me, never has been. And before then, I used to do blogs, what people would call blogs. I always had something to talk about, more than one thing usually. So it's nothing new to me. And anyway, but I thought, that might be a little more organized, and then I can do whatever with them. And I have a lot. But really, some of the things I want to focus on is like, I've always done this thing. Why I have a lot of them is because I would do this thing of giving myself refresher courses. Seriously, I'm a social and behavioral scientist. That's a lot of information. Yeah. Easy to forget. And plus, I had to take classes, of course, like in philosophy, history, government. You go on and on. Economics. Oh my goodness. But some of them I found were mainly on psychology and sociology, and Then, after I made that video, and I mentioned it, I found some. I knew I had them on philosophy, on logic. Okay, well, when I took the class back in the 80s, man, it was a long time ago. The class was called. It was under philosophy. It was called Logic. That's the whole title to the class, Logic. Okay, and we go through the fallacies and so on and so forth, just so much. And some of it I haven't heard in many, many years, since back in the 80s. Maybe not that long, but now I don't know. Since it's been so long, I can't sit there and say, well, Wikipedia has it all right. In fact, one of them, it has it on the one that I had printed out in June of 2016, I think it was. And then I looked yesterday, and one of them they don't have in there, and it's anecdotal. Yeah. And I don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared. They just took it out. I don't know. But anyway, I want to go over those. And then also, I was on this thing of, talking about illusory pattern perception. I want to focus more on that, and conspiracy theory, conspiracy theorist, or how and why. These are using actual scholarly research articles, and why people becomes. I'm just going to start calling them CTs. Why? I don't really see them as theorists, but why do they become so? What happens? And go down that line with it too. And I had mentioned I was going to attach it. Some of these I was talking about different ones at the time, but combine it with topics of narcissism, narcissistic behaviors, or any cluster B behaviors, or any bad behaviors, and go from there. Okay. And some of it was I started reading it, and like I said, I haven't even thought about some of these in so many years. I don't know if some are added, somewhat. It sure seems like it. But some of the terminology I don't recall. I mean, some of the words I don't remember how they're pronounced. I mean, that's back in the 80s. So, I haven't heard anybody use them. So, I've been finding it so interesting over the years of how, especially with so many people, now you can actually hear people more for how many years? I don't know. You can actually hear them more. I started off in 1990. But hearing people, the way they pronounce things, or before reading them, how they, they structure their sentences. Now, I am certainly not a grammarian. I'm well aware of it. Yeah, I can. When I was, teaching at college and university, I could certainly point out grammatical errors in papers, not mine, but other people's papers, and I could certainly do that. But as far as being a grammarian, no. But I have noticed the different ways people pronounce. I think many people do. Somebody in Texas, the way it's not, and I'm not talking just the accent, but the way we pronounce or the way we structure our sentences versus someone else. I remember one of them when I was doing videos, when I first started YouTube, I only knew things like shopping videos and such. And people would say that they go to the, how do they do it? How was it? Like, one that a lot of people did videos on was Dollar Tree. And they would say, they go to the Dollar Tree store. While I was at the Dollar Tree store. Oh, okay, I can't remember how it is now, but some people, they don't use the T-H-E. It's Dollar Tree. I'm going to Dollar Tree. I'm not, and some say I'm going to the Dollar Tree. That was what it was, I think. Or some people will say things like, her and I went to the store. Okay. Now, the way I remember, and it's amazing that I remember back to my childhood, but it would be she and I, because if you take the and I out, what are you saying? You're going to say her went to the store, she went to the store. Okay? So it's going to be she. Now, I was taught that way, but it seems like a lot of other people were not taught that way. They will say, her and I went wherever. Her and I. He and I. Well, no, well, actually, he would be right. Him and I. Well, what is it? Yeah. They will say, him and I went to the store. Okay, him went to the store? No, he went to the store. You just take out that extra and whatever. Anyway, that's the way I remember. And the plus things like when you say, when you use wish, I wish it were. It's I wish it were, not I wish it was. You know, these little things, like I said, I'm certainly not a grammarian, but I do know a lot is not one word. So that was kind of a joke back when I was teaching, because with a lot of people, they think they would write a lot as one word. And it was very common. It's still common. But anyway, I am certainly rambling, and that's fine because, yeah, the older I get, the more I say, yeah, I want to do what I want to do. It's not harming anybody. That's the big difference. As long as it's not harming myself or anybody else, you know. But anyway, I got off on that part. But I do want to do more of them inside the house. You know, it's just difficult. It gets to be too noisy, and then you have all this background noise and such. And but it's easier. It's actually easier to use my desktop computer and make videos. They upload fast. I can get them uploaded because that one doesn't knock him off of his work. My cell phone will. Like I said, I can upload them and make them with a good microphone, an actual microphone. This is my cell phone. And yeah, but I have to use the PowerPoint. And I heard one of the tipsters say something about not making thumbnails with PowerPoint. Now, see, I will disagree. I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because I have seen really, truly crappy tipsters say this is how you make a thumbnail, and their thumbnails look stupid to me. They're not beautiful. But that's my, you know, not everybody's going to say, oh, that's a great, wonderful, you know, thumbnail. So, you know, it draws me in. No, when it's just kind of looks goofy. You know, they're high on this of being, you know, very different from everybody else. But some of them just look goofy. And yeah, you know, when their videos, they're these big YouTubers, and their videos get 1,000 views. Maybe they're not doing something right. It's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. But I prefer neat, nice. I prefer them. I used to do them on, Photolab. Those were not neat and nice. And sometimes I used to, and before then, not put thumbnails at all. And now, you know, for how long now I've been using PowerPoint, I like PowerPoint. It's neat and it's nice. It's neat. But, yeah, so I will still use those to make videos. And the thing about it is, when I do use those, my videos get a lot more views. Seriously. When I use PowerPoint, whether it's in writing or I'm speaking, I had tried that out on a different channel. If I, you know, spoke using PowerPoint as a background, a lot more views. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna just have to see. Yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but that's okay. I usually do. But yeah, I'm getting more organized now, and I've mentioned on one of my channels that I started to realize that the past few years. I mean, I knew that my videos, I rambled a lot in my videos, but I never really thought. stopped long enough to think, okay, the biggest problem that I was having was sleep deprivation. Seriously. I have a dog that has dementia, and this is the third winter. This right now is the third winter, at least, because the winter time brought it out in him worse. Okay, so that's why I remember. So it's not like winter ends and it ends in him. No, but he was keeping me up at night, all night long, pacing the floors, wanting in and out of the back door, to go do his business all night long, because he would forget that he's already done this. And this will be the third winter, like I said. And so I had to corner off part of the house so I could sleep, and he can't get to me to do that pacing and stuff. And I'm feeling, it's starting to show. I don't always sleep right because I had gotten to such a bad pattern, sleeping 4 hours a night and then taking naps during the day. But that was definitely not helping with me making videos. Sleep deprivation, yeah. But I'm getting better every day. And I'm getting more organized. I'm actually writing out the things that I'm going to, writing out or highlighting the things that I'm going to do on videos. And some of them I'm doing, telling these little stories. My brain just creates stories. It's a series, it's more than one series, but they all come together at some point. And it's not like some dissociative thing. I just made too many syllables in that one. But no, it's I had started some of it years ago. But with the pandemic, I have to keep my brain exercised. Seriously. It's got to be exercising. Just watching TV, YouTube videos, or whatever, too much. I have to be thinking and organizing things, and being creative somehow, some way. And that's the way I decided to start doing it. Was start writing little stories. It's very difficult to write a story on PowerPoint. Yeah. And I've used PowerPoint for many years, so it's not my first rodeo with it. But it's not easy. It really isn't. And but anyway, that's doing kind of like a what's this year to come. But I'm thinking I'm going to wait until probably February, maybe, to start making regular videos. And I'm going to follow what these tipsters say, maybe, about uploading a certain day, or be very consistent. I've never been consistent all these years on YouTube, and I want to follow that. There's a nice little pretty bird. It was a squirrel bird moment. But anyway, it's something what's to come. I probably have lost most of my subscribers because I just all these last few months. Yeah. But anyway, I thought I'd get out here today and do this one because you see the sun's out. Well, you don't really see, but the sun's out, and tomorrow we're going to have, for the first time, snow, and beyond a trace. We're going to actually have it. We're supposed to have it. That starts in the morning and goes on to the night. I don't know exactly when it starts and when it ends, but yeah, that's very unusual for us. And yeah, I don't think that it's like a good idea to come outside, and sit in the car doing videos. Plus, I come out here by myself, and I don't want to slip and fall, after last February, remember? And then again, when was it? Was it September? The puppy knocked me down, hurt me really bad. Yeah, broke my face. He broke my face. He did. I still have teeth that just don't feel like normal. But I fell flat on my face. I really did, literally. Anyway, yeah, this is more scattered than I expected. I was going to bring out one of those binders, the one that has the fallacies and all that, and forgot. Yeah, I whenever I can, I rush out that door and get away from the dogs and all. But I've just failed to bring that. Anyway, and I did want to do a little bit on dissociative identity disorder. Did I say too many syllables again? But I do have some little notes out here, and also narcissistic personality disorder, of course. I do want to do a little bit more on them, but I really want to focus more on this problem with logic. That it really seems like this is the big problem. This is the huge problem we're having. Is this with logic or illogic? Anyway, but bear with me, because like I said, I haven't heard of some of these since 1980s. I could be wrong. I mean, when I do them, my view on it could be wrong. I might have to do more, I'm not going to do research beyond what I already have. I tried that to look on scholarly journal articles for these, and yeah, that's not going to be, it's not going to be something to easily find. Yeah, on each one of them. There are so many of them, the different things that I'll be going through. And I could be wrong whenever I talk about them, so we'll see. Anyway, I think this, and using Wikipedia is me going outside of my comfort zone. Seriously, it really will be outside of my comfort zone. When I was teaching, like I said earlier, I would not allow my students, I've said this before in other videos, I wouldn't allow my students to use Wikipedia for anything. Okay? And like I said, they stepped up with their game, and I think that it's a really good research tool for a good part. Okay, it's still got to convince me more, but we'll see. I'm going to use that. So, anyway, that's enough finally. I'll talk to you on another video.